Welcome to RenéMarie Stroke of Luck, the second show. The first show really blew our minds with the information and conversation that we had with our guests. We're really blessed to have met and interacted and really become family with a lot of wonderful organizations and people and stroke survivors and aphasia survivors. And it's incredible what we've done over the last 10 years. And we're so honored and privileged that you'll take the time to come into allow us to come into your lives for a little bit. And hopefully we share a little bit of information that helps you and it provides some other options and other ways and alternatives to live your life and to survive a stroke and really stay healthy and live a good lifestyle. So we hope to bring you hope. I think our one of our verbiages is hope. Hope is from the heart. Hope is from the heart. I believe. I think that's it. So anyway, so this is our second show, and we've had a wonderful first show, but we're gonna switch gears now and let Judy read her press that she always does, because without Judy, this show would not be able to be possible. So I'm gonna let Judy begin, and then we'll get into our conversations with our this is Larry's first time on the show, and we're so honored that he's taken a time 3 hours away. So it's 7:30 in the morning where he is. So let's go ahead, Judy.
Good morning, Larry. Larry suffered chest pain while working out and wanted to ignore it. However, his wife, Sue, demanded he get checked out. First, he called a doctor on telemedicine who advised him to see a cardiologist just for precaution. He then had multiple tests on the heart, and the doctor suggested angioplasty. However, hospital could not admit him for 10 more days. Larry thought it was psychological that he seemed to be feeling worse daily. Finally admitted to the hospital at 8:30 a.m. and having the angioplasty done at 10 a.m., he awakened at noon and was told that he had 3 stents inserted, with 2 of them being in what is called the widowmaker artery. He had 90% blockage in all 3 arteries. The doctors were crystal clear that he was days, hours, or minutes from a fatal heart attack. Blessed to be alive, and coincidentally, his business is promoting an incredible health sharing program that is the answer to the broken health insurance industry. If he didn't have the coverage and wasn't involved in the business, he may not have checked out his condition in time and wouldn't be here today. Larry Goldstein's life work is to make sure every person has access to affordable quality health care, and to ensure that people take preventive measures to catch potential health issues quickly before they turn into something serious. I'd like to give a warm welcome to Larry Goldstein.
Woo! Welcome, Larry. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for joining us so early in the morning from where you live. What Judy just said, you're in, I think you just mentioned that do you work with insurances? I mean,
I work with a health sharing program.
Oh, what's that?
It's health insurance without the bureaucracy.
Oh, well, let us know that, because that's a great thing to know.
Yeah, it saves people a lot of money, 50% or more in most cases. It has all the perks you can think about because it's run by a not-for-profit organization. So it's all about preventative medicine. It's all about keeping people healthy because they don't have a ledger sheet that they got to fill. The money is used for your health.
What's it called, Larry?
It's called Impact Health Sharing.
Wow. Wow.
And again, it has things like the free telemedicine, which if I wasn't in the business, there is a very good chance I wouldn't be here today because I'm a guy, I would have stalled. I'll go see him later. All right. Yeah, let's make an appointment. And if I didn't have that, because telemedicine is part of the program, wellness checks are part of the program. This is actually a health coverage company that actually cares about your health. They want to keep you healthy. And if I didn't make that call, more than likely I would not be here today because the doctor was crystal clear.
Wow.
That, I'm a back east guy, so I wanted to straight poop.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yes.
I don't want, and he says he goes, I was surprised you were hours away because I had 2 spots in the widowmaker artery, 90% plus clogged.
Wow.
And yeah, my time on earth was gone. So obviously my passion for this business has skyrocketed because And I'm more of a pain in the butt to people because if someone says, "Hey, I don't feel well," it's like, man, get checked. Don't be a
Yeah.
hero, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
I mean, what you guys do is a blessing, but obviously preventing it from happening would be a bigger blessing.
Oh my God, well, that's part of our work is to make aware for stroke and aphasia awareness so that people don't have to suffer from a stroke or aphasia. It's not a fun family to be in, you know. I'm really interested in your new this. One time, and forgive me, I'm drawing a blank at the name of it, but one time for a short period of time I didn't have health insurance, and I bought something through the Catholic,
There,
the
there are health sharing that are through churches. You got
okay,
to, but this is way different than that.
okay,
This is a not-for-profit that's opening to every American, including right now people from 3 countries, Mexico, Canada, and Guatemala,
wow,
that work here and they pay taxes with what's called ITIN numbers, tax ID numbers, but they're
yeah.
not citizens.
Yeah.
They can't get coverage anywhere. They're covered under this plan, and they're working on other countries.
Wow, that's really very, very interesting because we're in the first show, I don't know if you know a history for us, but we've been doing this for 10 years. So, we're holding our telethon on November 4th, I think it is,
Fifth.
Mhm.
to
I
really
think it's the fifth.
revisit what we've done in the last 10 years. Because at the initial, it was just a vision for us to start to bring awareness, to start a foundation. Because I suffered a major stroke over 30 years ago. But in the midst, we're really coming up with the next 10 years, our goals, our visions. And we were talking about in the first show that we wanted to come up with a list of other options for everybody, right? On our last show, we just found out, I never heard of this before, that a stroke patient can go for horse riding therapy. Never heard of that in my entire life. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually have. We have,
Wow.
I mean, I'm up in the Old West, so there's obviously lots of horse riding ranches up here. So
Wow,
yes.
it's beautiful. But my so we want to come up with a list so it's in one place, all the options for everybody, and we're certainly going to put on this health sharing insurance because that's another option for everybody in life that they can review and they could check it out. So send us your information, send us your website and
I
stuff
will. I
because
will.
really, so tell us a little bit about your story. I know Judy just read it, but you said you were a guy, you're thick-headed, you
I
didn't
wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't
want to go to
feeling
the
well.
doctors.
I wasn't feeling well, and I haven't been feeling well for a little while. I was tired, sluggish, and I just thought, first of all, I'm not that young anymore, so it was just part of it, and I just
Still
had.
looking very good.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I was having some pains in my chest, and it was, and Sue's like, "Look, man, you do this for a living. Just call a doctor on the telephone." I mean, I got the guy on in 45 minutes.
Right, right,
And first of all, he looked at me and saw my face. He goes, "You look a little pale." I told him where I was having the pain. And he says, I don't want to prescribe anything to you. Just go to a doctor.
right,
Went to a cardiologist, had all these tests, the stress test, where they put you in like a little MRI machine, and they check and he came up with the numbers were a little high, but they don't know specifics until they actually do the angioplasty. So
mm,
he said, and it wasn't emergency. He said, let's schedule an angioplasty.
wow,
And it was 10 days away. So, like Judy said, I was feeling worse and worse. But obviously, you're scheduled for a heart procedure. I'm not a crazy man, but I'm thinking psychologically, if you're scheduled for a heart surgery, just mentally, you're going to start feeling a little worse.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I thought. That's what I thought it was.
Can I ask you a question, Larry? Did
Yeah,
you have a calcium test prior to going?
I'm sure that was part of it. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I had every test known to man. I just know the results, and then the results were we should get an angioplasty, but the numbers weren't super super high. My blood pressure wasn't super. My blood pressure was always normal, 120 over 80, so it was kind of a weird thing. And so after we had the surgery again, in at 10, in at 8, but I had surgery at 10, home by 4. Unbelievable. And again, like I told you, when I talked to the doctor, he brought up his video screen and he showed me, he goes, look, this is what's called the widowmaker artery. We put 2 stents in that. Again, I asked him, be super straight, nothing, don't try to be pretty at all. He
Right,
said,
right.
you were a dead man walking. He said,
Oh my God. Oh my God. So so why, I mean, maybe you don't know the answer to this question, but they can't determine that till they go in?
well, that was kind of crazy to me. The test that they did gives them these numbers and gives them an idea that there's something wrong, but they don't know because when he told my wife was when they go in with angioplasty, there's no guarantee they're going to do an actual stents or surgery. They don't know if it's that bad until they get in. They know there's some issues, but they don't know how bad it is.
But
So,
no, I was going to say, but my mind goes right to that you were there for 10 days. What if you died in the what if you died on the 5th day? Like they don't like make it an
It could have
emergency.
been an emergency.
well, again, based on his tests, it wasn't an emergency situation. Okay, it was okay. There's things wrong, definitely, but
Yeah.
you don't know how severe until they actually do the angioplasty.
Wow.
And
That's
yeah,
scary.
oh yeah. I was but I'm blessed. I feel, I'm feel blessed as can be. At my time, there's still a purpose for me out here, and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
and that
it brought, yep, it woke you up a little bit to say, you know what, I really have to share my insurance information and, and I really have to share my story so that people know you got to go to the doctors and you need to have coverage. And we took, in our first show, and we're advocates for it, that money shouldn't be money shouldn't be the answer or have anything to do with recovery,
right.
money or even health. You should be, if you need a doctor, you should be able to go, because some doctors, you go to one doctor, then you have to schedule a test, but you need to be pre-authorized from your insurance company to get that test. Like, and in your insurance, with your insurance,
That's
that
the
doesn't
beauty of it.
happen.
Again, being run by a not-for-profit, there's no network. You pick whatever doctor you want. And if the
Wow.
doctor hasn't heard of it, because most haven't, they just make a phone call. They find out that they pay the doctors an average of 10 to 12 days. When
Wow.
most insurance companies, I mean, corporations have departments specifically there to chase down the insurance companies. This
Wow.
company is geared to pay. They're there for your health. Get healthy. Again, the first thing they want you to do is get a free wellness check when you get signed on board.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
insurance company tells you, go get checked now? God forbid there's something wrong. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what I tell young people, because we were all young once, I had the greatest insurance ever through the casino when I was in the casino industry, and I would never go to it. And I tell people, young people, it's like, look, I know we were young, whether we look good or think you think so or not. We were your age one time, so I get your mindset. Get the least expensive program because a young person could get it for $100 a month. And if
Wow.
you don't, if you use the telemedicine, that's great. If you use the prescription plan, that's great. But the point is, like you say about your stroke, folks, God forbid you got a pre-existing condition. Once you get a pre-existing condition, I don't care where you're at, you're in trouble because no one's going to cover you. Okay? No
Right.
one's going to cover you.
Right.
It's still 3 years with this program. You can get covered on this program if you got pre-existing, but the pre-existing itself isn't covered. Okay?
Wow.
But like
Wow.
with the beauty of this company, again, being a not-for-profit, God forbid it's a stroke victim and all the symptoms, there's no treatments going on, there's nothing happening. It's not on your records that you're being treated for your stroke. You had your stroke, they got it cured, you're doing great. God forbid it comes back 3 years later, on this program, it's covered.
Wow. Wow. And what I'm understanding is really it may be geared to educate the young people because it's almost like with a dog, right? When you buy insurance for your dog, right? And they're young, it's cheaper, but then the history goes with the dog, right? That's that. So if you're educating and young people, that's a wonderful thing. And then my other thought on that is um, change is difficult for people, like trust, like, yeah, we don't like to pay our health insurance and we need health insurance and we pay for it through our jobs and whatever, but this is another alternative for us. And it's tough to make that switch over to trust that there's not going to be any issues. When someone goes to like the hospital or something and they ask for their insurance information, do you have a insurance card? Do you have an insurance card?
This acts as everything that insurance does without the nonsense, without the insanity, without the corporate execs and their huge salaries, without the big advertising budgets, without the investors that have to make a lot of money on their investment.
Right,
All of that is now out of the picture.
right.
This is owned by a not-for-profit organization. The money is held by a third party. Everybody gets a back office. You can see when your money is being shared. Jones Family, because the AI does all of that, but everything on it is transparent. Okay, because again, it's all about your health. And the craziest thing about it, they have a 98% retention rate. But say something happens where you get this incredible corporate job that has the best insurance on the planet, and you want to leave this company. Whatever money you have in your account that hasn't been shared yet, you get it back.
Wow.
I mean, this again, it's not a for-profit company.
Right.
You know, their expenses are paying. Obviously, they got to have operating expenses and paying people like me to get this out in the air.
And and do you think that that's a good insurance company rather than Medicare or Medicaid or?
Okay, now Medicare is another story, but with Medicare, this also has a program because you need your 20% supplemental.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
My wife has this for her supplemental for Medicare.
Right.
It costs her less money than what is that whatever that program.
Yes.
Yeah, and she gets the free. She saves a little money, and she gets the free telemedicine. She just used it recently. She had some sort of a viral bronchial cough.
Yeah.
That she thought it was allergies, and I said, "Honey, I think it's a little worse." Called the telemedicine, talked to the guy. He heard her hack a few times. He prescribed her stuff right over the call. Boom, didn't have to leave the house.
Wow.
So with families with children, this is where I love this the best, is again, not-for-profit organization. So the plan is for one person, two person, or three or more. So if you got a family that has 7 children, they pay the premium for the whole family based on 3 or more. So you're not paying extra money for more children.
Right.
The deductibles are not per person like most insurance companies. It's per family. So if you got 6 children and you got the $2,500 deductible, you'll get to that in a hurry.
Right. Yes.
So it's fabulous for families. It saves businesses a fortune, and it's better care. Again, free telemedicine. It's a comprehensive plan. There's no network, none of this PPO. Or you got to go to 9. Say, God forbid, you got someone who's potentially a stroke issues. They got to go to this doctor, get a referral.
I know.
Instead of picking up the phone, doing your own research, finding a doctor you like, because when you're in a network, you have to go to a guy, even though you might research him and find out he's a clown.
Wow.
But he's the only guy you can go to.
I know.
With this company, and again, the coolest thing was when my wife and I were interested in it. It's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. We're too old to get into something that's nonsense, especially something that has to do with health insurance.
Right.
And after we went to a convention, met the owners, like, holy cow, this is for real. When we got home to Prescott, Arizona, our last piece of the puzzle was we asked them, does our local hospital network take it? Dignity Health. The answer was no, they do not, which threw us for a loop. Well, they only don't because they never heard of it. So I made my call to corporate. 48 hours later, I get called back. Okay, Dignity Health's on board. It's as simple as that. Same thing with your doctors. They can check and see that, oh my gosh, they pay a little more than insurance companies, and they pay quickly. There's cases where people get paid in a few days.
Wow.
Folks don't realize if you want a good doctor to hang around in your town, he's got to get paid.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. A lot of doctors aren't going into the field because of all the what's the word I'm looking for?
Nonsense, whatever. I mean,
all the trials and tribulations, and they don't get paid, and it's sad. So what about dental? Do they have a
No,
dental?
no dental yet. They're working on holistics coming in soon. I
Oh,
mean, right
wow.
now you get chiropractic, you get mental health is included, and they're bringing on holistic.
Yeah.
So
And one other thing that maybe they should look at is acupuncture.
no, that's coming on board too. That's coming on
Yeah.
board with the
Yeah.
holistic. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
coming in and they're covering. They're gonna cover everything before they're done.
Wow. Wow.
And yeah, it's just a phenomenal. And it's less money than most insurances
Yeah.
by
How much
far.
do you know approximately how much? I know you said 100 for a child, a month, but
A
I mean,
young
just say
person, well, I mean,
approximately.
again, because it goes based on the oldest person in the family's birthday.
Right.
So a family of six would say say the husband and wife, the oldest guy, say 35, 40 years old, about $600 a month or
Wow.
five. And
Wow.
again, covers all the kids. All the telemedicine is 24/7. So I think what are you gonna? And I use the word station wagon because I'm an old guy. But do you want to load your six kids in a station wagon and go check out what's probably a flu, or do you just want to get on a quick telemedicine call, not leave the house? Doctor prescribes you what you need. Boom, you're done.
Judy, hold on one second. Judy, you're on mute. Is it only telemedicine or can you go to a doctor if
Well,
you
no,
choose?
no. No, I went to the doctor with it.
Yeah. Okay.
No. You can go to doctors. You go again, but the telemedicine is just a great perk.
Wow. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Go ahead, Judy. I'm sorry.
I'm just curious if you've had a stroke and you need rehab. Is that covered? And for how
Well,
long is it
okay,
better?
if you again pre-existing condition, so all the other issues that they might have in life will be covered, but something related to the stroke, if they didn't have it prior, would
Well,
not be.
let's say you just had a stroke, okay, and
Mhm.
you're in the hospital. Will it cover rehab for that?
If you had it prior to having the stroke,
I'm
if you
not
had
clear on your answer. The person had a stroke a week ago,
right.
okay, and now they're going to need rehab.
hmm
Is it going to be better coverage and longer coverage on rehab?
If
Because it
they
just
had,
happened.
yeah, if they had this coverage prior to having the stroke, yes, but they can't have the stroke and then get the coverage. No place can exist if they
Oh.
do. Yeah,
Okay,
no place on earth can exist
Larry,
financially.
I want to ask you a question because this was a topic on the last show. Insurances say you have 30 visits for for 6 months or whatever for
Mhm.
your recovery. Who determines um re how many sessions you can have for
If
recovery with the chiropractor or with the acupuncturist
with the
or with the
chiropractor, and it's 50 visits a year for the chiropractor and mental health, 50 visits combined.
and what about like physical therapy, with speech
As
therapy or
as far as I know, it's what the doctor prescribes. Another thing about this company is, again, insurance companies are bred to turn people down for
oh
things.
yeah,
Okay,
we know that.
with this company, if you have the coverage prior to your issue occurring, one thing that they stress is that we don't get in the way of the patient-doctor relationship. So if a doctor says you need XYZ,
Right,
you get XYZ.
right, right.
So I haven't been posed this particular situation, but I'm very, very, very confident that whatever the doctor says, that's what you get. That's the one of the real beauties of this thing, because
Yeah.
I know people have been turned down for procedures that they need or drugs that they need
I know.
because the
And
doctors.
and I go back to my granddaughter. She has a seizure condition, and it's going to be for the rest of her life. And my daughter has to be battling for her all the time. And it's tough. It's tough. I will tell you that I've heard, and I don't want to say that I agree, but I've heard that the healthcare system not rather see you sick, but like your insurance company wants to see you healthy all the time. And I guess the regular mainstream insurances aren't as proactive. They wait until you get sick to help you. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And that's again, that's the thing that I do talk about also. See, again, being a not-for-profit, they're all about keeping you healthy. So when your insurance company masks an issue that you have or gives you drugs rather than fix it for all these years, obviously, eventually you're going to have the surgery or whatever is necessary. And now that people are living a tough life because they have this issue forever. These guys, again, the philosophy is let's get you fixed. In the long run, we're going to save money. You're going to, because you're not going to have to go for treatment all the time. We're going to fix
yeah,
your problem and
yeah,
you're going to have a better life.
yeah,
So that's the beauty of it being a not-for-profit. It's true. Like I say, I say this 1,000 times. My wife and I looked for a reason not to get involved. I'm not a health insurance guy by nature. I'm a real estate broker. Okay. And when we got introduced this, it's such a needed product. Okay. It is, I mean, the health insurance, the industry is abysmal. It's horrible. And
yeah,
people are paying a fortune for garbage. And now they're not only they're not living their lives because they're paying 1,500, 1,800 a month for horrible health coverage when they can get this for half price or less and have better coverage.
yeah. Well, they penalize us if we don't pay, but then we don't get what we need to live a healthy lifestyle. And like
Mhm.
you said, if you're proactive, it'll definitely be cheaper than paying for all the heart conditions and strokes and rehabilitation, and people are people. People are suffering out there, and it's very sad that you know that we're in this position,
Mhm.
because doctors and you can understand, like, doctors and therapists, and they're challenged with dealing with the healthcare system. It's hard.
They have to get paid. People don't understand they're still a business.
Yeah,
Yes, they're
yeah,
there for our help, but they're still a business. So if
yeah,
they got to hire extra people just to chase down the insurance companies, well, of course your prices are going to go up. They got to get paid.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Now, if they could just have a company like this where they know these guys are geared to pay you. We have to pay you. In fact, before I came on board, they were, because the AI they have is just incredible, but they were so flush with money because a third party holds the money that they gave people a month off from paying their premiums. That's what a not-for-profit on health is all about. Okay, the money is spent where it's supposed to be spent. And you can see everyone gets a back office. You can actually see what insurance company shows you where they're spending your money. If you paid your insurance company, to Aetna, and you saw your back office, corporate giants go on mega vacation, that's where your money's
yeah.
being spent. The transparency is incredible. It's just
Wow.
incredible.
Wow, that's incredible. What a wonderful day, Judy. I mean, you've had on a lot of people that really are impacting lives in a different way, and with change, with really different options. And we can't share with people what to do, but this is an incredible piece of information that Larry
Yeah.
shared, and what Dina and Eddie shared, and what Michael shared, like in the Yanel. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it's very important, and that's why I dedicated both shows to this.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. It's incredible. Well, I hope you'll join us on our telethon, because we're gonna do our telethon in 3 hours, and each hour we're gonna have different panelists, and one of those hours is going to be dedicated to insurance. We're going to talk about insurance once again, so we have it, everybody on a panel, and we'll do it the last segment, so you don't have to get up so early, unless
Oh,
you're.
no. I'm fine. Again, I have that one of those crazy, and this is again one of those health scare issues. There's a friend of mine who came to visit who got into a car wreck. So he had some brain issues, and he was traveling around just trying to live life a little bit. Didn't consult with his doctor about where he was going, because he went up to Tahoe, so he was up really high. I mean,
Wow.
and then he was down here and he was just feeling horrible because we were playing golf and enjoying life a little bit. And he's like, something's wrong. And he called his doctor. His doctor said, you get down the hill now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a health scare, but luckily he had the ability to call his doctor because he would have just thought he wasn't feeling well. Now he didn't have this
Right.
program. Don't get me wrong, he's gotten to know his doctor, but he
Right.
called the doctor on the phone, and if he didn't have access to that doctor, he'd probably, because the second he got down the hill into the Phoenix, he told me, "Man, I'm feeling so much better."
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
So, yeah, so don't tell people again, and I would never say this to people before, live your own life, but I am now a lunatic now if someone's not feeling well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
are you a doctor? Just go to the doctor,
Yeah.
man.
Just go to
You
the
know,
doctor to find out.
yeah, waste your money. I want you to waste your money. I want them to say nothing's wrong,
Yeah.
but check it out. You don't want to go to the doctor and find out something's wrong. You want to think you wasted your dough. Good, waste it
Yes.
all the
Yes.
time, man.
Yes. I totally agree.
Aren't there signs when you go you go up a mountain or you go to a climate or an area where the altitude is different? Aren't there signs that say you might have a problem?
I've never seen it. I don't know.
No?
I've seen it,
Yeah, I
but
don't know either.
you
I don't know
know,
either. I flew into Colorado one time. We went to Aspen many, many years ago, and there was no, awareness of
There
the
should be
altitude.
some kind of sign that says, because some people are very sensitive
Mhm.
to it, or they might have a health problem and they should be aware of it.
I think
I,
yeah,
I asked him that. I said, I was curious, like, if this was such a potential issue, why did the doctor? I mean, the doctor didn't know he was traveling, but still, hey, he's from Florida and that's why he's okay. He's right at sea level. But yeah, I said that to him. I says, wish the doctor would have let you know that this was, don't
wow,
go high, you know.
wow,
So,
scary.
but hey, he's fine now, so it's all good. But yeah, a little longer, he could have, got ugly. But
Wow, wow.
preventative medicine, guys. I mean, it's just logical. We're not doctors. None of us are. And you don't know if that little pinch you're feeling in your neck could be something ugly brewing. That if you nipped it in the bud rather than waiting till it got ugly, it's all about life. It's all we have is this one life.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Larry, it's a blessing. Judy, how did you connect with Larry?
I think on Facebook. I think that Larry, I was just browsing through Facebook and I saw something about either the insurance or that you had the heart problem.
no, no, no. It was a picture of me in the hospital bed on Facebook.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You commented on a picture of me, and then we were talking about obviously me being from Smithtown, and we had
Yeah.
some mutual friends back there, and we started
And I
chatting a
have a
little bit.
picture of you now in front of the bull.
Yeah, yeah. I said when we been back, and I think this is again a humorous thing, but I went back to Smithtown like 4 or 5 years ago for the first time, really since I was a kid, and so. The only thing totally different because the neighborhood I grew up in, near Akamsit, schools was brand new at the time. So 40 years later, you go back and it looks so different because all the trees were saplings and now they're monster trees. So
Right.
the neighborhood totally looks different over that. And I actually
Do you
rang
have
the doorbell.
relatives there?
Not in Smithtown, no. I got one still in Massapequa, but most of them are gone. Or, they do what most Jews do. They're not in Florida.
Wow.
So it's
Um,
like,
Long Island's an elite location. Like I never till I started to because 10 years ago I used to go out to Long Island every week to do the show live. It
mhm.
was crazy in Deer Park, and then we went to Huntington to Village Connection. So then pandemic came and we started the Zoom thing, which actually turned out better because we can get people like everybody on, you know. But I used to go in I used to my show was scheduled for 1 o'clock in the afternoon when I began traveling there. I said, there's no way I live in New Jersey to travel over the George Washington Bridge and over the what's
Drugs neck?
Frog's Neck at in the afternoon. It's like, forget it, you know? So I used to travel in 6 o'clock in the morning, and I used to meet friends there because I had a whole bunch of friends, you know, while I was working, doing the show there. And they used to bring me to different places, and it was so beautiful. Oh my God. It just blew me away, the beauty of that island. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's
Great
really,
place. It
really,
was a great place to grow up.
yeah, yeah.
There's a
Well, me,
really,
I grew up down the Jersey Shore.
well, I can't, that's not bad.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And you grew up on the North Shore, Larry?
I was in Smithtown. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I grew up on the South Shore.
Yeah. But now you're in Comac, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I told you the Comac Arena was like, that was
Oh,
heaven.
that's gone. That's gone a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, well, okay. I'm not young. I mean, but that's where we ice skated, went to roller derby,
And
you
there
know,
was once there after that, after the ice skating rink and everything was taken away, because I remember still living on the South Shore and working on the North Shore, that they made it a flea market.
right,
And
right,
then they
right,
took the whole thing down and made it a big shopping area.
right.
Wow.
Yeah, yep, yep. I left
Wow.
before the flea market came. That's how old I am. So,
Yeah, we went to a lot of
Stop
flea markets.
saying that.
It
uh,
was a wonderful, wonderful place. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Larry, and I hope you'll join us on our telethon. We're going to have really an important
uh,
conversation
count
about.
me in. I'm so sorry I was late this morning, but
Oh, no, 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 no. You know what? We don't worry. God takes us.
We wing it.
We wing it. We wing it. Winging. We always, one of our logos is winging it is recommended and approved. And
Yes.
we always just go with whatever is presented to us. We're not so worried about being, on target. Although, we do a lot of preparation, but things happen in life, and we're not
Things
gonna.
happen the last minute.
Yeah, we're not gonna, badger ourselves
well, I
about that.
appreciate it. Well, life's a blessing, and every day again and now, and I hate and like saying in the same breath, but I do feel different about life a little now because my life was over.
Yeah,
So how can you annoy me when I'm alive when I could be dead?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's the thing. I always tried to live a stress-free life, but
yeah,
life has its things that happen that the most mellow person stresses, and
yeah, yeah.
that's
And
not
we
good.
hope the next time we get to meet Sue.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm sorry she's not here. I mean, she's there. She's just. Oh, again, we had issues with our friends, and then we had issues with the dogs, and it was just a. It was
Okay,
unfortunate.
tell her we said hi.
She'll be there, and again, I'll definitely be on in November.
Okay, great.
Very possibly, I might plan a trip out and come see you face to face.
Oh,
Wow.
good,
Okay.
good, good.
Again, an excuse to go have some food.
Yeah. Hey, yeah,
Go have some pizza or something, and
yeah, yeah.
again, Long Island is a one. Again, I lived in Jersey for a little, from 3 to 6 years old in Fords, New Jersey, if you know where that
Oh,
is.
wow, wow.
Yeah, yeah, and my family was, Brooklyn born and raised for generations until everyone started scattering, and so I'm still a New York, New Jersey kind of guy at heart, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I miss people there. I miss not having gray area when you have a conversation.
Not. You miss what?
Not
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 having.
having any gray. People who just every conversation is straight to the
Oh,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean that
Yeah,
that
because you gotta have a conversation. People have different views, but you have to allow that safe space. I hope we allow it here to share everybody's different views. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has, the thought patterns on how things should be taken care of, and how and if somebody goes in a little direction that is not uniform to what we like, we just bring them back in and say, we don't do this on this show, and we appreciate your thought patterns, but we don't, because we always try to keep things non-political and loving and all that kind of stuff. So it's a wonderful show. We've been doing it for 10 years, and wow, we're really
Time
happy.
flies when you're having fun.
I know, I know, I know. So we used to do this every week, Larry. Every week, Judy and I used to have to do this, and then we
And in the studio, we used to
then
go.
we and then we dwindled it down to 2 times twice a month, and now we're one time, once a month, twice, 2 shows, because it just took over our lives. It takes a lot of energy to look for people and to interview them and to talk about it, and to just like it was stopping us from doing our other dedications to the foundation.
And we got people from faraway places like Australia, Canada, California,
so
all over the world.
We're blessed. So thank you, Larry.
I appreciate you ladies having me on. I do. I'm glad to be a part of your clan now.
You're part of our clan. Come on board. Okay. It's so funny because we start talking and we forget we're live streaming on Facebook. So thank you for everybody for joining us. Thank you, Larry. Judy, you have any last minute comments that you want to share?
Everybody should explore every possibility when it comes to health.
Yeah. Larry, you have any last minute comments that you want to?
Yes. Preventative medicine. Nip it in the bud, as Barney Fife would say. Nip it in. Don't be a hero. I'm a guy. Every guy out there, I understand what goes through your mind. You think it's muscle. You think it's this. Just get it checked out.
And if your wife tells you to go see a doctor,
yes, well, whatever your wife tells you to do, you should just say, yes, dear, I love you.
No, you should just say yes and do it. Not just say yes. Yes and do it.
I got you. It's the happy marriage. And all guys, put down the toilet seat. That's the only thing.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. On 3, we always blow our kisses if you feel comfortable. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. And we'll see you around. Bye.
Yo no sé qué tú piensas, yo no sé lo que haré, yo no sé lo que estoy perdiendo, yo no sé lo que va a pasar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti, no me puedes oír llorar. Por la puerta, todas las memorias fueron. Mi corazón está vacío, como si tuviera
never know that I'm just this lonely man, alone on the river with my heart in my hand. The conversation, they're all dead. The lines cut off inside my head. I left here like a broken man with no idea of where I stand.